So Mel, I know you from Team and Training, but I also know you have a solar business. What do you want to talk about first?
Let's talk about Team and Training.
Okay. Why don't you give a little history behind how you got involved, and we'll go from there.
Okay. Well, in the very beginning, third generation Modesto. I was born and raised about a mile from where we're sitting right now. And married my high school sweetheart out of Downey High School in 1969. Yes, that means I'm very old. And
Aaron's right there with you.
oh, wow.
Big company.
No, I didn't graduate. No, I didn't graduate until 75.
Class of 66.
Yeah, see, he's 9 years older than me, mister.
So in 1969, we got married, which was much to my surprise. I didn't figure she would ever even give me a second look. But
Isn't that how for most men?
boy, I got lucky. I'll tell you that. And we had a wonderful life for about 30 years. I had a daughter, and I had a good job. She had a business, and things were going along wonderfully until 1996, when she went in for what we thought was routine surgery and was diagnosed with stage 3 ovarian cancer.
I'm sorry to hear that.
We fought that for 9 years. About every 3 years it would come back, more chemo, more radiation, more surgery. And in 2005, she was diagnosed with leukemia. And I believe what probably happened is all the chemo and radiation just took a toll on her body, and she developed leukemia. We spent 6 months at Stanford, gave her a bone marrow transplant, which turned out to be ultimately unsuccessful. And in September of 2005, she passed away. And as you mentioned, I think I've decided to turn my life into trying to take that bucket of lemons and turn it into some lemonade. And I'm doing that through an organization called Team and Training. Team and Training is a fundraising branch of the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. And what we basically do is we'll take anybody, and I do mean anybody, so irregardless of age, size, weight.
You got in there.
That's right. They took anybody. And you're talking any level of
experience.
That's right, because you get them from beginning to end.
Yep.
It's really experienced to no experience at all, and can barely get on a bike.
Yep. And
so Aaron, here you go.
He falls off of his training bike.
Oh,
You know,
no.
the one that stays in place?
Let's not interrupt him about Peloton.
So I decided they do a number of things. They'll train you to, if you want to run marathons, they'll train you to do triathlons. In my world, we ride bikes, and we're fortunate we get to ride our bike around Lake Tahoe. And the name of the ride is America's Most Beautiful Bike Ride, and I don't think they're kidding when they named it that. It really is a pretty ride.
How long is the ride?
It comes in a half a lake, 35-mile flavor, a 72-mile flavor, which is the perimeter of the lake. Or if you're really crazy like this guy over here named Ed, you can do a 100-mile version of the ride.
How long does it take to do 100 miles?
I've done the ride 14 times. My best time to do 100 miles is 6 hours of ride time. Probably another hour and a half of stopping for rest stops and things like that. So 7.5 hours of clock time.
Yeah, somebody asked me the other day, how many days is that? I'm like, it's not days. It's half of a day.
Exactly.
8 hours.
Exactly. And it's one of the things I really like to emphasize is I don't really care how fast. I have people that take 10 hours to do the ride. I have people that can do it in under 5. And so that really is a wide ride spectrum. And it's something I would really like to make clear to if anybody's interested in joining us in this effort is doing it is the important thing. Going out there, having a good time, raising some money for a really great cause, and doing something you probably never thought you could do in your life. So we're just getting started with doing the training. As I said, my world is the bike world, so I spend 17 weeks training people. We're just getting started training right now for a June 2nd ride. So we'll spend a lot of the next Saturdays, if this rain will go away on Saturdays, doing training, we start off very slow, and every week we just up it a little bit, and at the end of 18 weeks, you're ready to go do a bike ride around Lake Tahoe.
Wow, it's amazing. And then, so you got involved in 2006 with this, and you were training up in Sacramento, if I remember right?
That's right.
And then after about 6 years, you finally got it down here?
Yeah.
Is that how that works?
Yeah, what happened is there was no bike program down here with Team and Training, so I had to actually drive for 18 Saturdays for 6 years to Sacramento to get the training, and I kept complaining about that. As Ed can attest, I'm not a quiet person when something's not going the way I want it to go, and so I decided to. They asked me to start a training program down here in the Modesto area. I think, quite frankly, just to make me be quiet. And so we did. In 2012, we had our first cycle team here. We only had 12 riders, and we raised about 40 grand. Fast forward to last year, I had 67 riders, and we raised $365,000 for the Leukemia Society just riding bikes around Lake Tahoe.
What's the grand total you've raised total for the year?
Thank you. We just crossed $1 million since we started this team in 2012. So this Modesto, Oakdale, Stanislaus County, area code 209, however you want to think about the greater area here, has ponied up over $1 million. And I'm going this year to raise another $400,000.
And then what did you come in team-wise with all the other teams? How would that work out for you last year?
Thank you. They rank the teams by how much money they raise every year, and for the last 3 years, this little old team out of this area has been the #1 team in the nation. I mean, that's against all markets, LA, Chicago, New York, you name it. We were the top fundraising team 3 years in a row. And Ed, we're going to do it again. This is going to be number 4.
Great.
How do you raise the money? So what happens?
Yeah, so pretty much what happens when you decide to sign up and join us is we will give you a web page that's your personal web page. You can customize it any way you want. Put pictures up, put why you're doing this, why it's important, and on that web page will be a donate button. So people can go to your web page, click on donate, click how much money they want to donate, hand in their credit card, and life is good.
Amazing.
So basically, each person who rides, they get so much. They go and get so much for the team. And then you started doing more corporate sponsors last year, right? That was your first year with more major corporate sponsors?
Yeah, last year was the 30th year for Team in Training. It was the 30th anniversary, and so they had incentives for anything with a 30 in it. So if a rider raised $30,000, they got some very special recognition up at Tahoe. If a team could raise $300,000 in a season, they got recognition. Well, anybody that knows me knows I'm just a little bit competitive. So when that came out, I tried to figure out how in the heck we were going to raise $300,000. We typically had been raising around $200,000 with the size of the team we could raise around here. And we decided to turn to corporate sponsors. And I was shocked at the generosity of the companies in this area and their willingness to step up. I ended up getting 40 companies to step up, and those 40 companies donated $140,000 to the team.
Hey, Mel, we're going to pick this up when we get back. We got to take another break. Hey, we like to honor our local veterans out there. So if you know a business owner who is a veteran of the armed forces, please get in touch with us. Next week's guest is Kyle Helton, U.S. Air Force Reserves and owner of Drain Masters Plumbing. Don't go away. We'll be right back taking your calls here at Real Estate Jerky. Dial pound 250 from your cell phone. Say the keywords Real Estate Jerky. And from your landline, it's 209-551-3483. We'll talk to you when we get back.
And let your arrow go straight to my lover's heart for me. Cupid, please hear my cry and let your arrow fly straight to my lover's heart. You know I try to be a good man. I always give it my best. But truth be told, someday I wanna go to the wild, wild west.
Leaving the bull behind, it's Real Estate Jerky.
So we're back with Mel Bradley, Mr. Sunshine and Lemonade. Actually, Bike Riders Call and Coach. Call us with your questions. It's super easy. Dial pound 250 or hashtag 250. And use the key phrase Real Estate Jerky. By the way, pound 250 or hashtag 250 works 24/7 and we love it. You can also reach out to us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, or email us at radio@realestatejerky.com. Well, welcome back, Mel. Why don't you go finish up, Ed, with all the things that you
All
want
right,
to
so
do.
when we left off, we talked about how much you raise and how much you want to raise more. And then why don't you tell somebody how they get in touch with you?
Perfect. Yeah, that's what's going to be important if we're going to do that raise more thing. So there's 3 ways to be involved with Team in Training, and all of this can be found on team209.org. That's our webpage. It's a webpage just for our local area here, and it's got all kinds of information on how to be involved, as well as a little bit of background about us. But I'm interested in talking to 3 groups: people that are interested in riding with us. As I said a moment ago, we're just getting started with the training, so it's not too late to join us. So if you're interested in riding with us, you can go to team209.org, or you can give me a phone call. I'll put the phone number up in a minute. I'm also very interested in corporate sponsors. I'd always love to grow the corporate sponsorship. So if there's a corporate sponsor out there that's interested in supporting a really, really great cause, get a hold of me. Again, team209.org is the easiest place to go. And lastly, if you want to just donate, if you've been affected by cancer, you know somebody that's been affected by cancer, you want to support us in what we're doing, you can just go again to that webpage, team209.org, and hit on the donate button. It's a big red button on the webpage, and it's pretty obvious what to do after that.
All right, sounds good.
You know, I just wanted to say that people, life happens, and then when it does, you can choose to do something positive or wallow in your misery. And he chose to do something really excellent to feature all the people out there that need help in this area, plus honor his wife. And I think it's amazing. And I think when we're successful in business, we should give back. And so thanks, Mel. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Inspiration.
You know, put your checkbook behind your mouth.
Get it work. What do you
Hey, Mel, I'll do 2,500 again this year.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
My company.
Now, see? Now I have to add another thing to what great happened today.
There you go. And I'll work on Aaron for you.
Okay.
Yeah. No, we'll get you. I'll come in. I will. We'll get
Well, you know what's great about this program is people are, bicycle riding is easy to first of all learn. Most people learn how to ride a bike when they were younger, but for exercise-wise, it is easier on a bike than it is to run or do other things. So if you're thinking about it, I would definitely recommend it because they start off at a very slow pace. I mean, the mileage is not that great the first thing. I mean, people are amazed that they can ride 10 miles like that.
Yes, they are.
You're not walking it. It's a lot longer when you walk it than as you ride it. And you don't have to have the perfect bike. You can start off with just a regular bike. You can borrow a bike to get out there to see if it's something you want to do. Right?
Yep, we even have loaner bikes. So absolutely, borrow from a friend. We'll loan you a bike, whatever.
All right.
I think it's amazing. Good job.
Yeah, I think it is too. Especially how much money this local. See, Stanislaus County and this area, we give a lot. Right?
Yes, we do.
More than any other area, and we're not one of the richest areas around.
Right.
Nope.
No, we give more than San Francisco, which is one of the richest areas of the Bay Area. So that's amazing what we do here and when we take care of our, different things that's important to us.
It starts at the top. So good job there.
All right. Anything else you want to add, or you want to get right into solar?
Yeah, just one thing. We didn't talk much about what the money actually goes for, what the Leukemia Society uses this money for. So I'll briefly touch on it. You may have heard of a whole new approach to treating cancer called immunotherapy. The idea, the concept is to reprogram your immune system to see your cancer as a problem, and your own immune system fights it. It does not involve chemo. It does not involve radiation. It's a completely different approach, and it's really starting to take hold. It was first developed for blood cancers because blood cancers are a little different animal to attack, but it's now actually spreading into the many of the oncology disciplines: breast cancer, lung cancer, colon cancer, etc. This concept of using your own immune system to fight your disease, to reprogram your immune system to see the disease and take it on. I believe, I'm not a doctor, I'm an engineer, but I believe the day will come when that will be, some version of immunotherapy will be the way that cancer is treated going forward. And the days of chemo and radiation and all that entails will be ancient history.
Wow.
And it's amazing how many people have been affected by cancer. Like myself, my dad died of hairy cell leukemia, which was from Agent Orange, being in the Vietnam and all that. He worked on airplanes as a mechanic. And it was over there where they sprayed it, and he got it that way. So it's amazing when you think about it. You can get in a room. There's so many people can raise a hand who know somebody that had cancer or themselves.
Yep.
All right. So let's get into another thing.
Well,
Solar.